Hi. Okay, so this flow is going to be one for the morning. It doesn't have to be, but it's a really nice one to do in the morning because it's a very energising practice, opening up the chest, doing a few back bends, strengthening the core. Yeah, it's just a really nice way to energise the body in the morning. So I hope you're all doing well and feeling good. We're going to start in a tabletop position. So hands underneath your shoulders. Spread them nice and wide. Check that your knees are underneath your hips. Spine is nice and long. And we'll just take an inhale here. And an exhale. And then from this tabletop position, we'll start to come into cat and cow. So lifting the tailbone as you inhale. Drop the belly. Lift the chin away from the chest. As you exhale, press into your hands and feet around that space between your shoulders. Belly towards your spine. Inhale, roll forward. As you exhale, press up. And stay with this, with your own breath, your own pace, for a few more rounds of breath. So we're going to get warmed up pretty quickly for this sequence, and then we'll build through our flow. So our standing and our floor poses will be in the same sequence today, a little bit different, but I hope you enjoy it. Take one more breath here. And then come back to your neutral tabletop. Spine is long, start to walk your hands forward, spread your fingers really wide on the mat. Tuck the toes behind you, lift the belly, lift the knees off the mat a few inches, just engage the core here, check you're pressing through all 10 fingertips. And then slide the belly back towards the thighs. As you start to lift those hips up to the sky, and pedal out the feet, setting up for your downward facing dog. So once you're in your downward facing dog, you can just check the alignment here, so feet in line with your hips, hands in line with your shoulders, and then find some stillness when you're ready. You can always have a bend in the knees to keep that little tailbone lifted up towards the sky, just to make that a little bit easier. Your heels do not have to come to the earth. Breathe here, stretching out the whole of the back of the body from the heels all the way up to the neck, the crown of the head. Allow that head to just loosen here, the neck to loosen. You can swing it from side to side, shake your head yes and no, whatever feels good. And then take another inhale. And an exhale. Look forward, start to walk your feet to the top of your mat to find Uttanasana, forward fold. So bring your two fists in between your feet, knuckles facing forward, bend the knees again as much as you need to draw belly towards your thighs. And just hang then over your legs. So your feet are hip width distance. We've tested that with the fists. And then just allow your hands to rest on the floor. Maybe gently swing side to side. Check the weight in your feet. You can rock forward and backwards. Check that it's evenly distributed between the ball of your foot and the heel of your foot. Feel that length created down the backs of the legs. Stay here for one more inhale. And exhale. And then start to walk your feet to your mat width distance. Turn your toes out, 10 and 2 o'clock. And then slowly start to sit your hips down onto the mat. And not going to reach the mat obviously, but we're in our Malasana yogi squat. So elbows to the inside edges of your knees. If your heels are lifted here, you can't quite get them down, then just come up, lift your bum a little higher, squeeze the inner thighs together, engage the glutes. This is actually more of a glute workout. Otherwise, sink your hips down and you'll just be working into the flexibility in your Achilles there as well. So stay here for an inhale. Shine the heart forward towards your thumbs as you exhale. Use your elbows to press your knees apart. Engage through your Mula Bandha, that is your pelvic floor. So lifting up that pelvic floor, engaging through the belly as well. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, place the hands down towards the earth. Stay here for a breath in. As you exhale, press through the hands, lift the hips up high, forward fold. We're just going to do that one more time. Inhale, sit the hips down, knees wide. Exhale, press the hips up and back. Inhale, sit down. This time, hands back to your heart center. Bring the weight to the heels, engage the belly as you start to rise all the way up. Squeeze the glutes as you come up. Inhale. As you exhale, hands through heart center. Walk the feet so they're hip width distance on your mat. Take an inhale here in your Samastiti. Close the eyes if you wish. And sigh it out. A few rounds of sun salutation A. Just keep warming up the body here. Inhale, sweep the hands wide, gaze up to your fingertips. Lengthen through the whole of your body. As you exhale, hands through heart center, fold from the hips, lift the belly. Forward fold, halfway lift as you inhale. So lengthen the spine, hands can come to shins or fingertips on the mat. Crown of the head shooting forward, hips pressing back. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back and then your left to join it into our high plank. Really engage through the legs, press the backs of the knees towards the ceiling, lift the belly. Tuck the tailbone towards the shoulders, press through the hands, arch that space between the shoulder blades. Stay here for an inhale. As you exhale, lower your knees, squeeze elbows into your side body, lower chest and chin, untuck the toes, slide the hips down. Inhale, slide forward, lift the chest into your cobra. So hands are just gently resting on the mat. Press through the tops of the feet, lift the belly towards the spine. Exhale, fold, tuck the toes, press into the hands, lift the belly, press yourself back to high plank and downward facing dog. Stay here for a breath in, lift that tailbone high, stay for the exhale. This time look forward, lift the heels. Exhale, step your right foot in between your hands and then step your left foot up to meet it. Forward fold on your next exhale. Rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, hands reach up towards the sky. As you exhale, hands through heart center, Samastiti. We're going to do that 2 more times, a little bit quicker now. Inhale, sweep the hands up, Urdhva Hastasana, upward hand pose. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift as you inhale, flatten that back. As you exhale, fold left foot back this time first, then your right. Stay here for the breath in, engage the belly. As you exhale, knees, chest and chin, squeeze the elbows in. Untuck the toes, slide the chest forward, inhale. Exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes, lift the belly, press into the hands, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale here and an exhale. Look forward, step your left foot in between your hands, top of the mat, right foot up to meet it on an exhale. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands through heart center, Samastiti. One more round. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Find your deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale, fold. This time option step or jump back and then move through your chaturanga, knees, chest, chin, or full chaturanga, knees off, come up to upward facing dog. Stay with cobra if that suits your practice. Exhale to plank and then downward facing dog. Stay here for the breath in and exhale. Look forward, lift the heels, either step or jump to the top of your mat, halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Urdhva Hastasana, inhale. Samastiti, exhale. Take a big breath here. Sigh it out. So we should be feeling a little bit warmer. We're going to come into our sequence now. So as I mentioned, we're going to flow standing and floor poses in one sequence. So it might be a little bit different, but yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, inhale, sweep the hands up towards the sky. As you exhale, this time take your hands behind your lower back. Squeeze the palms together, interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, lift belly towards your spine. Maybe you press the hips forward. Keep the core engaged as you take a little back bend here. Chest up towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back to center, engage the core. As you exhale, release those hands, just shake it out. Walk the feet to mat width distance, hip width distance. Inhale, sweep the hands towards the sky. Again, exhale, sweep the hands behind your back. This time, opposite index finger on top, so opposite thumb as well. Squeeze the palms together, it might feel a little bit weird. Inhale, lift the chest up towards the ceiling. Stay here, opening through the shoulders. Otherwise, tuck the tailbone, draw belly in, press the hips forward. Maybe you lean back, take an inhale. This time as you exhale, lift the belly, and then wherever you are, we're folding forward. So that's why our feet are hip width distance this time. For more balance, you can always bend the knees again here. So stretching through the shoulders, also the backs of the legs. Squeeze the palms together, stay for an inhale. And then exhale, just release the hands, come into your forward fold. Halfway lift as you inhale. As you exhale, fold, and then step your right foot to the back of the mat. Spin the right heel down, and set the left heel in line with the arch of the back foot. Lift the belly, sweep the hands up towards the sky, square off the hips, warrior one. So our front knee is bent over the front ankle. Left hip draws back as the right hip draws forward. Press through the outer edge of that right foot. Lift the inner thigh. Stay here for an inhale. Drop the shoulders down as you exhale. Maybe sink a little bit deeper. One more inhale. As you exhale, open up to warrior two. So you might widen your stance ever so slightly. The back edge now of this right foot is parallel with the top edge of your mat, or bottom edge in this instance. Inner thighs roll forward and back, so we're squaring off the hips. This left knee stays over your left ankle. Arms go long, take your gaze over that left fingers, those left fingertips. Gaze is soft, shoulders are soft. Take an inhale. Can you go a little bit deeper as you exhale? Hands to heart center, straighten both legs. Lift the left heel, come up onto the left heel, bend to the right knee, and Skandasana to the back of your mat. So you can always have your hands down, your heel on the right side is down, so it doesn't matter how high you are in your hips, or hands at heart center. Stay for the inhale. As you exhale, stay low, and Skandasana to the front of your mat. Left knee bent, right toes lifted. Stay for an inhale. As you exhale, Skandasana to the back. And spin yourself, so we're coming into lizard pose here. So both hands to the inside edge of your right foot. Right foot to the edge of your mat. Both hands underneath your shoulders. Squeeze that right knee in towards your right tricep. Lift the left knee and press the back of that knee up towards the ceiling. Feel the stretch in your left hip flexing on this left hip. Wherever you are, stay for the inhale. And then keep the left hand down, right hand up. As you exhale, lift the belly. Inhale, stay here. As you exhale, bring that hand down onto the mat. Good, we're going to keep that left hand where it is. Option to stay here in your lizard with your back knee dropped, or in your high lizard here, or come into side plank with me. So left hand stays down, your right foot will step to your left, reach your right hand up towards the ceiling. So squeeze the left side of the body, lift that right hip up towards the ceiling. Maybe your gaze goes up, maybe it stays down, your choice. Lift the right leg up away from the left if it's there for you. Stay for an inhale. Bend that knee, look forward, step forward lightly. Back to your lizard pose. Walk your right foot out. Right toes to the corner, or 2 o'clock position here. And then we're going to step the left foot up to meet it into our malasana, yogi squat once again. Elbows to the inside edges of your knees, hands at heart center. Stay here for an inhale. You can always have your hips higher as well. And exhale. Option to stay in malasana or come into crow from here. So you can always come into from malasana if that's in your practice. Otherwise, come to your forward fold, hands underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers really wide. Come up onto your tiptoes. Get your knees as high up towards your armpits as you can. Connect there, then chaturanga the arms as you start to lift one toe, then the other off the mat. Arch that space between the shoulders. Take your gaze forward. Stay here for an inhale. Malasana. Exhale. Hands down to the mat if you're not there already. Start to walk your feet hip width distance, bending the knees again. This time we can lift the heels. Balance for an inhale, hands to your heart. As you exhale, we're going to roll back. Take a few gentle rock and rolls on the spine until we come to lie on our back, soles of the feet down. Check that the heels are close towards your glutes. We're setting up for bridge. So knees hip width distance, place the hands down, spread the fingers wide, tuck the tailbone as you inhale. As you exhale, start to lift one vertebrae at a time off the mat, pressing those hips up towards the ceiling. Chest presses back towards your chin. You can stay here. If you want to interlace the hands behind your back, you can. Squeeze the palms together. Press through the outer edges of your hands. Press through your feet. Lift those hips a little higher. Inhale. As you exhale, untuck the shoulders if they're tucked. Lower down slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Rock and roll side to side if that feels good. And then start to rock and roll again, up and down your mat. We're going to either step or hop through into a plank. So place the hands down, step or hop back. Plank position. Stay here for an inhale. As you exhale, slowly lower everything down onto the mat. Belly down, chest down. Bring your hands behind your lower back. Interlace the fingers again. Squeeze the palms together. Press through the tops of the feet. Lift the belly as you inhale. Lift the chest. Draw your knuckles down towards your heels. Stay here for an inhale. And lower down as you exhale. Take the clasp the opposite way now. Opposite index finger on top, opposite thumb on top. This time you can lift the feet as well if you wish. Lift the belly towards the spine. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift the chest. Press the knuckles down towards the heels. Maybe you float those legs off the mat as well. Shine the chest forward. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the belly, press into plank and press back downward facing dog. Right leg lifts on an inhale, three-legged dog. Stay here or exhale, bend the knee and open up, stack right hip on top of left. Again, staying here, opening through the hips. If you want to come into wild thing, shine your chest forward or roll your chest forward, shoulders over your wrists, and then start to spin right foot down behind you. Come onto the knife edge of that left foot. Reach the right hand up and back. Press those hips up. Stay for an inhale. As you exhale, spin yourself all the way back. Right knee towards the chest this time. Step the right foot in between the hands. Ground the back foot down. We're rolling up into warrior two. Stay for an inhale. Right knee is bent. Take your gaze over the right fingertips. Exhale. Hands to heart center, straight through both legs. Take an inhale, toes towards the long edge of your mat. As you exhale, forward fold with a flat back. And stay here for a few breaths. You might walk your hands back a little bit so the heels of the hands meet the heels of the feet, or in line with the heels of the feet. Keep lifting through the belly and fold from the hips. So the more you lift the belly, the more you'll be able to fold. Check the weight is even through your feet, so press through the big toe knuckle. You tend to forget about that one here. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, start to walk your hands to the top of your mat. Frame the front foot. Option to just step forward into a forward fold, or step back and move through your chaturanga. Upward or cobra. And downward facing dog. Walking forward into your forward fold to meet anybody who stayed there. And then bend the knees. Start to roll one vertebrae at a time all the way up to standing. Chin away from the chest, roll those shoulders back and down. Okay, so we're going to do that flow all on the other side. So when we're ready, inhale, sweep the hands towards the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center, fold with a flat back. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold and step your left foot to the back of the mat. Ground the back foot down. Check that it's at a 45-degree angle. Right knee is bent over your right ankle. Lift the belly. Sweep the hands up towards the sky, warrior one. So hips are square here. Really squeeze that left hip forward, your right hip back. But check that knee stays over your front ankle. Lift the inner arch on that left foot and squeeze the inner thigh. Hands up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Drop the shoulders down as you exhale. Stay for a breath in. Warrior two as you exhale. So maybe widen that stance a little bit. Right knee stays bent over the right ankle. Take your gaze over your right fingertips. Drop the shoulders down. Stay here for the inhale. And the exhale. Can you go a little bit deeper? Roll those inner thighs forward and back. Hands to heart center. Inhale, straighten those both legs. Lift the right toes. And then bend the left knee. Sink down into your skandasana. Back of the mat. So again, hands can be down on the mat or hands at heart center. Stay for the breath in. And exhale. Shift over skandasana to the back, the front this time. So hips are low, heels are down on the bent knee side. Stay for the inhale. Exhale over towards the front of the mat. Spin yourself around, lizard pose. So remember, both hands are to the inside edge of your left foot now, underneath the shoulder. Lift the back knee, or the back of the back knee, up towards the ceiling. Press that heel back. You can always as well drop that knee if it suits your practice more. Otherwise, stay here with that back knee lifted. Plant the right hand down, lift the left hand up. Inhale, squeeze the belly in. Stay for the exhale. Can you go a little bit deeper in that twist? Inhale, and then exhale. Oopsie, plant that hand down. Inside edge of that left foot. We're going to stay here in your lizard, working into that hip flexor, or come to side plank. Press through the right hand, float the left foot back so it's on top of the right, and lift the left hand up towards the ceiling. Squeeze the right side of the body, lift that left hip up, gaze down or up, your choice. Float that top leg if it's there for you, take an inhale. As you exhale, lightly step it to the top of your mat. Turn the toes out, 10 o'clock, and then take an inhale. Step into that left foot. As you exhale, Malasana. Once again, top of the mat, hands to heart center. If you want to have a go with crow again, from here you can. Otherwise, stay in your Malasana. If we're coming into crow, I always find it easier from our fold. Really press into the hands, arch that space between the shoulders. Knees up as high as they can go. Shift the weight forward, slowly lifting the core. And then we'll meet back, Malasana. Lift the hips a little, walk the feet, hip width distance. Sit the bum down to the heels, balance here, hands at heart center, knees bent, take an inhale. As you exhale, roll back, rock and roll a few times on your spine if that feels okay. And then allow the feet to be on the mat. Setting up for bridge again, or wheel if it's in your practice. So if wheel is in your practice, you're going to bring your hands either side of your ears, elbows squeezing in, fingers pointing forward or fingertips pointing forward. If you're coming into your bridge, then you're just going to do the same as before, hands down, roll your hips up towards the ceiling. So placing those hands down wherever you're going with this pose. Squeeze the elbows in, tuck the tailbone, lift the belly towards the spine, draw the belly down towards the spine, I should say. Press the feet into the floor, press the hands down, lift the hips, and breathe here. Send the chest towards the back of the room. If you're in your wheel, maybe you walk your feet a little bit closer towards your hands. Press through the feet, press through the hands. Stay for an inhale. And exhale, slowly lower down, wherever you are. Good, take an inhale at the bottom of your back bend. And an exhale. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then rock and roll up and down the mat again. Coming into our plank pose. So step or jump back. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly lower everything down. This time we're coming into our bow pose. So you can always take half bow by bending one knee and taking a hold of the top of your right foot to begin with, or the outside edge of your ankle. You can do one at a time, and I'll tell you when we're halfway. Otherwise, take a hold of the outer edges of your ankles, or the tops of your feet, depending on what you can reach. If you've got the ankles, flex the feet. Draw the belly in towards the spine. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, kick your feet towards the ceiling or lift your chest away from the mat as your arms stretch here. So staying for 3 breaths before I tell you to switch, otherwise 6 breaths if we're in full bow. So last inhale here. If you're switching, lower that right leg, grab a hold of the left. Keep pressing those feet up towards the ceiling. Lift your belly towards your spine. Send the chest forward. Take another inhale. As you exhale, lower all the way down. Release the ankles, release the feet, and just shake your hips side to side here on the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck the toes, lift your belly and press yourself into your plank pose, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, stay here or bend the knee, open up, stack left hip on top of the right, square off those shoulders. Press through both hands evenly. Take an inhale, you can stay. If you're coming into wild thing, exhale, send those shoulders forward over your wrists. It just makes it easier to spin here. Drop those left toes down, Come onto the knife edge of that right foot. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Stay for an inhale. As you exhale, spin yourself back. Step that left foot in between your hands. Ground the back heel down. Stay here for an inhale. As you exhale, windmill those arms open. Warrior two. Hands to heart center, straighten both legs. Take an inhale. As you exhale, fold forward with a flat back. Again, you can bring your hands so the heels of your hands are in line with the heels of your feet. Relax through the neck. If you want to, you can always grab the backs of your ankles to draw your chest through. You can grab peace fingers around your big toes, elbows wide. Whatever suits your practice. Take 3 more breaths here. Last inhale. And exhale. Hands to center and then start to walk yourself all the way to the front of your mat. Bend your right knee. Hands down. And then step back to your plank or straight to your forward fold if you want to go through a chaturanga. You're with me here. Inhale, upward or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you're in your forward fold, step back to your downward facing dog. And then take an inhale. As you exhale, drop the knees down. Bring your big toes to touch, your knees wide on the mat. And sit your hips towards your heels, child's pose. Allow your forehead and chest to melt to the earth. And just feel that space you're creating through your back, your lower back, your shoulders, lengthening through the spine. Belly is soft. Forehead is heavy, chest is heavy. Take another inhale. Side out, exhale. And so you can stay here in your child's pose if that feels comfortable. You could come into Shavasana, lying flat on your back. Could come to a seated position and spend a couple of minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, in your meditation. Totally up to you how you end this practice. But I hope you enjoyed the flow. Hope you feel stretched and nice and energized for the rest of your day. Any questions, please feel free to ask. All right.